Natural disasters cause a lot of trouble for people, but they also affect animals. Big waves like tsunamis and strong winds like hurricanes can really change the lives of sea creatures.
White shark?
Sometimes, these animals have to move to new places when they are washed ashore by bad weather. Today, we'll explore 18 strangest things discovered after disasters like tsunamis. Number 18. Fang-Toothed eel. In September 2017, science communicator Preeti Desai was exploring a beach in Texas City when she came across the carcass of a strange animal that looked like it came straight out of a science fiction movie. She said she thought it looked like a sea lamprey, but quickly changed her mind when a closer look revealed the long, sharp fang teeth. Desai posted 4 images of the creature on X, but ended up with more questions than answers, with some pointing out the difficulty of identifying it due to advanced decay. However, further investigation from scientists says the dead animal is a fang-toothed snake eel, also known as Aplotophis chaliotis. It belongs to the family Opichtidae, and they live between 20 to 90 meters deep in the ocean. So, how has this one managed to make it to the surface? Scientists think it may have been pushed to the surface due to a disturbance from Hurricane Harvey, a serious tropical cyclone that happened in August 2017. Number 17. Floating dock. The Tohoku earthquake and tsunami that rocked Japan in 2011 is one of the most powerful natural disasters in the world, and by far the most devastating in Japan. It caused close to 30,000 casualties and led to damage of $360 billion. Many months after the tsunami, objects were still washing up at surrounding shores. One of the most significant objects to wash ashore was a massive 70-foot-long dock that showed up on a beach in Oregon. According to a Japanese consulate officer, the dock traveled the Pacific Ocean to Oregon after it detached from a northern Japan fishing port. The concrete dock, measuring 66 feet in length and 7 feet in height, broke off the port of Misawa, bringing with it several marine organisms weighing up to 13 pounds. They included starfishes, urchins, anemones, crustaceans, snails, mussels, worms, barnacles, and algae. However, the dock is only one of 4 belonging to a company called Aomori Prefecture. If this one could travel 5,000 miles to the US, there's no telling where the other 3 could be. Number 16. Floating safes. Japan is battling a problem known as Tansu Yoken, a term that means wardrobe savings. It refers to the practice of keeping money at home. This should not come as a surprise considering Japan is one of the top countries with the highest percentage of elderly people. Estimates say around $350 billion isn't in circulation, despite the operation of 200 banks in Japan. So, when the tsunami hit and people lost their properties, it was only natural for some of those cases of stashed cash to be scattered across the wreckage. A month after the disaster, police departments saddled with recovering properties located thousands of safes. The Ofunato Police Headquarters alone were able to recover hundreds of metal safes dented from impacts. Other police stations in Iwate also recorded a high number of safes. The hard work of sorting the safes and identifying the owners would probably take weeks if not months, but those who were able to recover their fortune would no doubt be considered lucky. Number 15. Huge carcass. Following the devastating Tohoku earthquake and tsunami in Japan, various international news outlets, including the Daily Mail, the Mirror, and the Daily Star, came out with news of a giant carcass of what looks like a blob. The blob-like creature washed off the shore of a beach in Japan, and they were convinced that the tsunami must have had a hand. All the news blogs attached the video of the brightly colored carcass as evidence. Many YouTube channels also joined in the reporting, with some suggesting the blob-like creature may even be extraterrestrial or supernatural. However, some parts of the story are incorrect. The blob did not show up after the tsunami. While it is real and was discovered on a Japanese beach, It was found a year before the tsunami in 2010. Discovered by a cultural museum curator in the small fishing village of Yabuchujima, no one could tell which animal the carcass belonged to, or if it was indeed an animal. It didn't get enough publicity, leading the news outlets to believe it washed ashore a year later than it did. Number 14. A sign. A sign isn't particularly strange in any way. This particular case has made it to our list for what it symbolizes and the lessons it transmits. Although the tsunami happened in 2011, a village sign that was caught in the waves traveled far and wide until it was discovered in October 2013. That's 4 years after the disaster. This tells you how long some of the items went missing before they were found. The 3-meter-long wooden sign was discovered by a small group sent by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration on Kahuku Beach, Oahu Island, Hawaii, about 6,000 kilometers from the Tanohata village from which it was swept away. On the sign was written, "Shimanokoshi Village Housing." It was returned back in July 2014 to its origins in Japan, where the people were still trying to recover. The sign is a symbol of hope for those affected by the catastrophic disaster. It's a sign that it may take a while to recover, but with the right mindset and work, anyone can get back to the great state of things that existed before the disaster. Number 13. Giant Eyeball. On October 11, 2012, a man came across a strange sight on Pompano Beach close to Fort Lauderdale in Florida. It was apparently an eye, but the sheer size was not only disturbing but chilling. When the photos appeared on Facebook and Flickr, speculations quickly began going around about the origin of the eye. After about a week of examining the giant eye, fish and wildlife experts with the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission said it was the eye of a swordfish. They're also suggesting it was cut out and thrown away by a fisherman rather than being the result of an attack. Swordfishes live in the Atlantic Ocean, and they can grow up to 500 kilograms. However, you may not notice the giant eyes from looking at a swordfish because, like human eyes, a huge part of it is tucked inside the socket. Number 12. A mosque. The Baiturahim Mosque, located in the Meraksa sub-district of Uli Liwe, Banda Aceh, Indonesia, is a remarkable mosque building that has survived 2 earthquakes and a tsunami. Built in the 17th century by the Sultan of Aceh, the mosque was originally made with wood, before it was rebuilt in 1922. Since then, it has undergone several restorative processes and a name change. In 1983, a devastating earthquake hit Banda Aceh, but the mosque remained standing. Only the dome was affected, and it was removed during renovations. In December 2004, another earthquake happened, this time triggering a tsunami that wiped off many buildings, including the ones surrounding the mosque. But again, Baiturahim Mosque stood its ground. Some people even took refuge inside, ensuring they remained unaffected by the disaster. The mosque has become an important symbol in Aceh and Indonesia. Many of the population consider the mosque a sign of greatness and have continued to honor its significance. Number 11. The Lost Ship. Many of the items dispersed after the 2011 earthquake and tsunami reached different shores after some months, while others took around a year or a little bit more. However, certain items wandered off for multiple years before finally making it to a stop. One popular example is the Japanese lost ship located in Oregon. The fishing vessel had Japanese markings, and experts suggest it took so long to nestle itself in Oregon because it may have been trapped by the Kuroshio Current along the east coast of Japan. It's believed that the ship traveled first to Hawaii before appearing on the northwest coast of the U.S. They also say the ship would have come in contact with the Great Pacific Garbage Patch or the Alaskan Gyre, traveling around them twice before moving on. The authorities in Oregon were expected to scrap the remains after recovering them from the beach, but that would be after they detached the gooseneck barnacles that had made the ship their home. Number 10. Oarfish. We've been taking a look at animals and items that wash up after a tsunami, How about we look at one that shows up to warn us of a tsunami? The oarfish is no ordinary fish. It is said to deliver special messages that are to be taken seriously. In Japan, the sight of an oarfish is a sign of something serious, such as a natural disaster. That may have something to do with the fact that they're naturally found deep in the waters, 650 to 3,300 feet, and are hardly seen by humans. In 2009 and 2010, many oarfishes washed up ashore in different parts of Japan, and many quickly pointed to them as harbingers of doom for the destructive earthquake and tsunami that happened in 2011. In 2019, more than 7 oarfishes have been sighted, leading many to believe something destructive may be on the horizon again. The superstitious belief was bolstered when another earthquake and tsunami occurred months after the sightings, but no life was lost. However, scientists have not found any connection between disasters and oarfish sightings. Number 9. Football. Many people lost their properties in the aftermath of the 2011 tsunamis. One of them was 16-year-old Misaki Murakami. He lost everything to the Great Wave, but thanks to his ingenuity, he may be able to recover some of them back, starting with his football. A year after the flood swept everything away, his football was found after it drifted to Middleton Island in Alaska, 112 kilometers or 70 miles from the mainland. The man who discovered the ball, David Baxter, reached out to United States officials, and on observing the football, they discovered that Murakami had his name on the ball. They contacted the owner, and he was willing to have his ball back. Murakami, who lives in Rikuzen, Takata, told reporters he was happy to have his ball back because it was the first thing he's been able to recover, as his hometown was seriously affected by the incident. Number 8. Ghost ship. The March 2011 tsunami in Japan swept away many small items, but there are also records of large items that were recovered after they had been displaced by the giant tsunami wave. One of them is the ghost ship spotted off the west coast of Canada. Discovered by an aircraft touring the British Columbia Sea on the 23rd of March 2012, the 50-meter-long vessel was floating from Haida Gwaii Islands at 275 kilometers. The ghost ship was one of the largest recovered debris washed off as a result of the tsunami. It was visibly torn apart and rusty. The ship had no one on board, and further investigation showed it was registered in Hokkaido, Japan. Based on the ship's speed and trajectory, authorities revealed at the time that it may stay on the waters for about 50 days before making it to land. However, the Canadian government resumed constant monitoring of the vessel for pollution or obstruction. It was later determined that the ship was not salvageable, and it was scuttled using naval firepower. Number 7. Cannonballs. Hurricane Dorian happened between August and September 2019. It was a powerful and destructive tropical cyclone, on record as the most intense to hit the Bahamas. The disaster led to 84 fatalities, 245 missing individuals, and damage of approximately $5 billion. After the hurricane, a couple was exploring Folly Beach for remnants of the hurricane, but they ended up with items far more significant: cannonballs from the Civil War. Aaron Latin and his girlfriend thought the cannonballs were just rocks, but a more careful look suggested they were something more. After authorities were called in to ensure the cannonballs posed no danger, the happy couple expressed their joy at finding a piece of history. However, other cannonballs had been found around the same region in the past. 16 Civil War cannonballs were located on the same beach following Hurricane Matthew in 2016. Number 6. Old Man. We expect tsunamis to carry objects and migrate marine animals, but a man has made a strong case for the title of real-life Aquaman after he drifted on the sea for 27 hours. Lisala Folau, a 57-year-old man from Atata in Tonga, has swam for more than one day. Folau, one of the 61 people living in his village, was painting his house when a wave approached. He got a warning from his brother and managed to make it to a tree branch. Despite escaping the first wave, the second one picked him and others up and threw them into the sea. Folau said he ignored the calls of his son for fear of risking his life for him. He just held onto a log and managed to drift to an island. 2 police boats passed by, but they couldn't hear his calls. After drifting around for a while, he saw another island close by and managed to swim there. That was he got a vehicle that took him to help. Number 5. Giant Lego Man. Jeff Hindman was walking on the Siesta Key Beach in Sarasota County when he found a giant Lego man, 8 feet tall and weighing around 100 pounds. The brightly colored figure had a red lower body, yellow arms and head, and a green torso with the words, "No real than you are." The back had the number 8 and the name Ego Leonard. After the police take the figure into custody, research shows that Ego Leonard is a Dutch artist who owns an online gallery of similar paintings and similar messages. The paintings are worth between $3,000 to $4,000. When contacted, the original Lego makers have distanced themselves from the figure. It will remain with the police until the owner comes forward. Meanwhile, different theories have been flying around as people attempt to decipher the origin of the figure. Could it have been disposed of by the owner, or was it forcefully transported by a natural disaster? Perhaps we'll never know. Number 4. Harley Davidson. Following the tsunami disaster of 2011, many things traveled with the wave to nearby and faraway shores, but one of the most intriguing cases is that of a 2004 Harley Davidson night train motorcycle. Peter Mark was exploring the beautiful beach in Graham Island, British Columbia, when he came across a rare sight, a large storage container carrying a motorcycle. Rusted and broken in parts with a Japanese plate, the bike had traveled over 4,000 miles to get to the spot where it was discovered. With help from Harley Davidson, they were able to track Ikuo Yokoyama, the owner. They offered him a replacement, but he respectfully turned down the offer, citing how much his community and country had lost in the disaster. The bike is currently on display in a museum in memory of the tragedy and those who lost their lives. Number 3. $1 million cocaine. It's hard to picture a natural disaster being of help to drug and law enforcement agencies, but that's exactly what Hurricane Debbie did. On July 31, 2024, authorities warned of abnormal weather conditions, with the Florida Keys and Dry Tortugas placed under close watch. A month later, flights were canceled as a tropical cyclone developed, causing severe flooding in the United States and Canada. Hurricane Debbie, as it was later named, led to 18 fatalities and a $4.5 billion damage. What many did not envisage was that the Category 1 hurricanes could uncover more than 24 of 70 pounds of cocaine packages. A beachgoer noticed the strange package among other debris and alerted authorities. The United States Border Patrol revealed it contained 25 bricks of cocaine. They revealed that if the drugs had made it to the streets, they would have a value of more than $1 million. Number 2. Ambergris. Natural disasters can be destructive and devastating for many individuals, but bring unexpected benefits to some. In March 2025, the ex-tropical cyclone Alfred struck, even though the impact was not as significant as earlier predicted. Following the incident, an Australian dad went to the beach in Queensland, New South Wales, when he found a valuable substance known as ambergris. The waxy substance is produced in the stomach of sperm whales to aid their digestion. When this substance gets out of their body, it solidifies and develops a distinct scent that makes it invaluable in the perfume industry. The substance is highly sought after and can fetch $59,000 per kilogram. It is believed that the cyclone may have pushed the ambergris to the shore where it was found. The Aussie dad instantly recognized it and consulted friends who confirmed his find. Number 1. $48 million. The 2011 earthquake and tsunami may have destroyed a lot of properties, but it's good news to learn that it did not affect their humanity, despite the huge loss they experienced. That's because honest Japanese returned all the items they found to the right authorities. Months after the tsunami ravaged the villages and turned everything upside down, people found safes, wallets, and other valuables under the rubble and in water bodies, returning everything back to the government so they could get them back to their rightful owners. In one of the safes, they were able to recover $48 million, with others totaling around $30 million. Authorities said they received 5,700 safes and that they had to cut through them to get information on the owners. While many of them were empty, some contained expensive items, including gold bars and other antiques. Congratulations for staying with us till this point. We hope you've learned some things from those sightings following natural disasters. Now, it's time to smash the like button and hit subscribe to get more educational content. Check out other videos on our channel, and if there's anything you want us to cover in our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. Until next time, bye-bye.